Hey guys, it's Miss Delcambre. So today is Tuesday, March 2nd, and here's a rundown of our day. So, give my Google Slides a minute to load. So, we'll be doing our Tuesday question. Make sure you're doing Builder 21. We went over our homework check, and we have our Google Classroom work. So, you'll need your journal, pencil, pen. Today's questions, Mindful March. Name one thing that is beautiful in the outside world. Homework tonight is your study guide and Builder 21 because you have your test on Thursday. And the quote of the day is Tuesday is a terrific day because it means that you made it through Monday. So let me escape this. Right click, exit full screen. All right, so let's take a gander at our homework from last night. Give me one moment, let me pull it up here. So it was our slide and angle relationships and triangles. Open it with Cami real quick. So we did several in the beginning yesterday before we left. Did a couple of them before we left for the day. So let's just go quickly. All right, so the first one was an acute scaling. I add them up and I subtracted the measurements by 180 and I got 68 degrees. Number two, I knew all those were the same, so it's an equilateral triangle, meaning that it's 60 degrees. The third one is an isosceles triangle because you have two angles that are the same, and I add that up, subtract it from 180, and I get 62. So it's an acute isosceles. We learned yesterday that the longest side is always opposite the largest angle. And we know about the sides in number two, triangle number two, are all the same because it's an equilateral triangle. Number six, the shortest side of a triangle is always opposite the smallest angle. Remember SOS, LOL, and MOM. So number seven, the shortest side of ABC is half the second side and a third of the longest side. How does the perimeter of the triangle compare to the longer side? So what one of my students did, which was an awesome job, is he drew a triangle, all right? And then he said, okay, so this is my smallest side, so I'm going to label this A. And this is the second smallest side, so this is A plus A. And this is my longest side. And he labeled this A plus A plus A. Okay, and that's kind of hard to see. Let me do that up. Just swap these two sides. All right. So when you total it up, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 A's. So my perimeter would be like, would equal 6A. Well, my longest side is 3A. So we know that the perimeter is twice or double the length of the longest side, because to get from 3 to 6, I multiply by 2. Okay, number 8, a triangle DEF. DE is 3 inches, EF is 4, and DF is 5. The largest angle is opposite which side? Well, angle E would be the largest, and it's opposite the longest side, which is DF, okay, because DF is the longest. Okay, an obtuse triangle is a scaling triangle. Sometimes works, not always, not never, just sometimes. A scaling triangle is an isosceles triangle. That will never work because scaling means that all sides are different. Because all sides are different, two sides can't be the same, so this will never happen. And a right triangle is an isosceles triangle. This sometimes occurs. The only time it will occur is if you have a 90-degree angle and the other two are 45 degrees. The only time. So it only occurs one other time. All right, so that does it for our homework check. I'm going to close that out. And let's go to your assignment for today. So today's 3-2, so I have it dated, classifying triangles and finding missing angles. So you have 2 assignments to do. I'm going to read the directions, and you need to reread the directions. Sorry, muted my phone. All right, so open the assignments. You have 2 here, okay? Go to File, make a copy, rename with your name. So erase the copy and replace it with your name. Complete the assignments, upload the documentation. This is how you upload. I don't want you to share it with me. Please do not share it with me. This is how you're going to do it. You're going to click on Add Documentation, click on Google Drive, and you will find what you just worked on. You'll see a picture of it. Click on it and turn it in, or click on both of them and turn it in. Okay? All right, so go ahead. I'm going to view the click on the two assignments. I'm going to click on both of them, and you'll see them pop up here in a second. All right, it's just taking my computer its own sweet time. All right, so the first one, again, I'm going to come in, go to make a copy, entire presentation, rename it. I'm just erasing copy and putting my first initial there. Okay. All right, again, I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to make a copy, entire presentation. I'm going to go take off copy and put my name. I'm just going to put my initial there. And then what you can do is you can close the other two. So you're only working with the ones that you need to. All right. Now, on classifying triangle maze, I've already made my copy. So it has a little video link. So we're going to click it and we're going to watch it because it's going to walk us through how to do this. And then if you forget, always click back.
This is a maze worksheet that is not the same worksheet that you are working right now, but this is to show you an example of how to work the maze worksheet. The first thing you need to do is you need to come here and type your name. Then read the directions. These directions tell you to begin at the start, which is here, and find your way to the end, which is here, by choosing the correct answers along the path. You are going to drag a box on top of the correct path question. You are going to cover the correct answers with a circle. So for example, we're going to start at start, and we have 1 plus 1. I know that 1 plus 1 equals 2. So I am going to cover up this box because I just worked this problem. And then I am going to cover up the 2 and the arrow to show this path that I took. Next is 2 plus 3. I know that 2 plus 3 equals 5. So I am going to drag this box on top of the problem and drag this circle on top of this arrow. And so we are going to continue working through the puzzle. If a question is this way, then you will use one of these boxes instead of the other. And so you're going to keep working through until you get to the center.
Okay, so that did it for the video. So I'm going to close out on the video here.
Oh. This is a maze worksheet.
Okay, it's going back again. So right now for me, it's hard to read what the triangles say. So come over here to the zoom button and you can zoom in to 100. And it's a little better if you still need to zoom. Click on zoom, it gets a little bigger, and then you could go to the select tool. So if I'm looking at 14, 10, and 19, none of those sides are the same. So is that equilateral, isosceles, or scaling? So I know that that is a scaling triangle. So I'm going to drag my toolbar over here, and you see the rectangles that she had. So I'm going to bring it over and cover up my triangle. I'm going to grab it, bring it over my triangle, and I know that this is a scaling. So I'm going to come back, grab my dot, and cover up the path. Where did my dot go? Okay, so when you get like this, guys, you can always change it to a smaller side. So now I can see the dot and the rectangles, okay? All right, so now I have to go down here to this one. Well, I know that all these are equal. That means that all the sides are equal, so this would be an equilateral. So I'm going to cover that. I'm going to find equilateral, and I'm going to cover that. And I'm going to go to the bottom one. So I'm going to this one. I see two sides that are the same and one that's not. So is that scalene or an isosceles? Well, I know scalene, nothing matched. So an isosceles, two things match. So this would be an isosceles triangle. I'm going to cover that. And again, drag my dot there. So once you go through all of the map and answer all of them until you get to the very end, and then you are done. You don't have to save it because Google Drive saves it automatically. So when you upload it, your picture that you'll have will have all the little boxes and the dots. Okay, so that one's that. So let's go to the other one that you have. So the other one you have, you're finding the missing angle. Okay, so I've already done the first one for you. So remember, you add what you know and you subtract from 180. You add what you know and you subtract from 180. So when I added 63 and 57, I get 120. And 120 minus 180 gives me 60. So question number 1 is going to be purple. So I'm going to come over here to my slide 2. I'm going to find where 1 is. I'm going to click on the number. I'm going to use the icon, the paint bucket icon. That's what I call it. It says fill button. And then you're going to put in the color purple. Don't get creative. Just pick a purple and stick with it. So I'm going to pick that purple. All right, so that's 1. Okay, I'm going to look and see if there's any other ones here. Well, there is. I'm going to click on 1. And again, I'm going to color it purple. Now, there's a trick that you can do instead of going back and figuring out which purple did I use. Okay, so I'm going to show you that little trick. So I'm going to click that purple. I'm coming over here to it looks like the paintbrush roller. I'm clicking on that. And I click on that 1. And bam, it's the exact same color. Do not worry if you're like, oh, the triangle's covered up. It's supposed to be. When you get your final finished product, it will look kind of like a stained glass. Now, as you see, several of the colors are repeated. If you're like, well, I already got purple, so it can't be purple. Purple may happen more than one time. So the one thing I want us to do real quick is this last one, letter E. So 3x plus x and an x. So I have a total of 5 x's, and I still have 180 degrees in this triangle. So if I split up 180 by 5, I get 36. I'm just going to drag that rectangle to the correct answer choice. Guys, make sure you're dragging your rectangle to the correct answer. Don't just color. So every time I see an 8, I'm coloring it purple. You want to color it the same purple as what you had for the other ones. So remember, you click it, use the paint roller brush, find the 8, click it, and bam, there you go. Okay, so that is what we did in class today. Make sure you submit it by clicking on Turn In through your Google Drive. Add documentation, Google Drive, and finding the assignment. All right, your last thing that you need to make sure, and I just sent out a reminder to your parents, is that we have our Module 12 review. Make sure you get this done. Make sure you're working on this and have this done, because tomorrow we have a GIM kit and a Kahoot. It's only 15 questions, and some of it is 9 of them are multiple choice. So you're more than welcome to get that done. Actually, not 9, 7 of them are multiple choice. All right. So we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.